Hi, I'm Dustin Abbott, and I'm here today to take a look at Phenyx Pro's PTU-7000 series. I'm specifically looking at this wireless mic system when it comes to lapel and then also headset level mics rather than handhelds, because that's what we were looking for to add to our existing system at the church that I pastor. And so Phenyx Pro is an up-and-coming budget alternative to some of the more established and much more expensive brands. And so I was interested in seeing if their rack-mountable system would, kind of mesh with the existing system that we have. We are using an Allen & Heath QU24, and our typical handheld are Sennheiser EW100 G4s. So we are used to having good quality of sound in our building, and so I was interested to see how these budget alternatives would actually fit into the system, how that they would hold up, and how their sound quality would hold up. So we're going to be doing a lot of this review in the test environment, which is the church building. But before I do that, I'm going to give you a quick run through some of the specs, and then we'll jump into some real-world tests and examples. So this whole system costs just $320 US. And so that gives you a rack mountable receiver that has 4 XLR outputs on the back, 1/4 inch unbalanced output for combined audio, and then 4 different transmitter body packs along with a total of 8 different microphones. And so there are cardioid style mics with both lapel or lavalier style, and then also headset options. And so each of the body packs comes with 2 different mic options to use. And so you're getting a total of 8 microphones and 4 body packs along with the receiver for $320. Pretty awesome. Their claimed range is up to 100 meters. Actual body packs are up to 8 hours of battery life, and it is a 4-channel UHF receiver, and it is mostly operating or entirely operating in the 500 megahertz frequency band, which is good, getting it away from the traditional Wi-Fi type channels. And so each channel has about 12 megahertz of play, and 1, 2, 3, 4, each one of them is operating in a little bit different frequency range, and you have some different frequency options, but within about 12 megahertz of play for each channel. And so those are the basic specifications. This is the box that it comes in. Let's take a look at how it actually held up when my tech guy from the church and I began to work on the review and incorporate it into our system. Okay, for the initial synchronization, all you've got to do is open up the battery compartment. These are a little finicky. You've got to pinch in, and getting both of them to release at the same time can be a little bit of trouble sometimes. Power on the unit itself. There is a little red box here that represents where the IR signal is going to sync up with, and there are 2 options on the actual main receiver itself. And so I'm going to line up and allow that to be seen.
Then we'll go ahead and talk there so it lights up.
Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 2, 2.
So you'll have to mute this audio of me saying that. There we go.
All right, so testing now the over-ear option with the actual mic extension here. Definitely there is a higher gain level because the mic is more directionally in front of your mouth. You want to be careful with your mic position. If you get it a little bit high here while you're getting nice and rich here, you're also more likely to pick up noises coming from your breathing. And so I would say probably better to get a little bit less gain sensitivity here and actually get a little bit more balance of sound. But once again, the quality of the microphone is actually really, really good, and I definitely would be happy speaking. As far as the fit of this, it seems to fit on there comfortably. I'm typically going to be speaking for 40 to 50 minutes, and I would say at least under short-term use, I'll test it. Long-term, I would say that it's comfortable enough for that kind of situation without any kind of issues. So far, I'm actually impressed with the quality of sound from both microphones, and it matches reasonably well with our, expensive Sennheiser handheld mics that we typically use.
Okay, so we're going to do, just take a look around this room. This is a fairly large space, and so we're wanting to see if there's any dead zones in the actual wireless pack. I've got the pack back here tucked underneath my shirt. The receiver is located here, and so as I start to move out, I'm going to go around the room and just see if there are any dead zones where in a room like this I'm getting any kind of drop. This is a steel building, has a metal roof to it, and so as far as external signals, definitely will do a lot of blocking out there. But so far as I move around this space, I'm getting consistent sound, no dead zones here. I'm going to go to the far back corner over on this side, and then I'll step out into the lobby and see even with some internal walls blocking signal, see if I'm still getting a wireless signal. Stepping out into the lobby here, and we can see as I move into this space, I think as far as what I can hear, that I'm still getting consistent sound. So in most venues that at least I would be working in, this would be sufficient signal for picking up all throughout without any kind of dead spots. So what were the pros? Well, I was pleasantly surprised by the sound quality. Again, running it through the Allen & Heath QU24, and so we were actually able to basically initially just copy over the equalization settings from the standard mic that I'm personally using when I'm speaking or singing. And so we found that the sound quality as I went back and forth was, fairly remarkably similar. It was lacked a little bit of low end relative to the Sennheiser G4s, but those run about $1,000 each without a receiver here in Canada. And so the sound was actually surprisingly close. And then when I used it in a real world setting, both for speaking and then for singing as a part of like a chorale type practice, I was impressed by really how well the sound quality held up. And so that was a huge plus for me. It definitely exceeded my expectations. My expectations for sound quality admittedly were a little bit on the low side because I've used cheap lavalier type mics before, and often it's a miserable experience. So I was very pleasantly surprised at how normal, I should say, that my voice sounded through the monitors and then also in the house sound. I was also pleasantly surprised by not having, to this point at least, any issues with drops. Either in my actual test as I was testing for it, but then more importantly in real world use in our building. I haven't experienced any drops at all, no cutouts, and so that was great. And then of course on the plus side, the whole kit costs less than a third of just one of our handheld mics. And so obviously as a value for money, pretty fantastic. On the cons side of the equation, thing that stood out to me is that the body pack transmitters, they felt kind of plasticky. I felt like the opening to change out the batteries is a little bit clunky, and I wonder how well that's going to hold up over the long haul. And so, that's going to have to be determined over a longer period of use, but that's an area that I wasn't thrilled about. In one case, we needed to wanted to change the channel on one of the actual transmitters, and we found that the control for changing frequencies, it's not necessarily straightforward, and it doesn't feel like you have a tremendous amount of precision. It's more of an kind of allowing to do kind of a little bit more a fresh audio sync up. And so, that whole process, I would have liked a little bit more fine-tuning control, maybe on the actual receiver itself, to allow you to fine-tune that. And so that's one area where I'll critique. There isn't maybe as much versatility compared to more high-end systems when it comes to controlling little things like that. At the same time, however, my conclusion, and I got this both off of my own personal experience, which is most important, but also I was interested in seeing and kind of cruising the forums and seeing what people who had used them longer term, what their response was. And I found that for one thing, there was a difference in positivity for those that went up to the PTU-7000. And so they're, slightly better lineup as opposed to the lower lineups. But people that were using the PTU-7000 were pretty universally impressed with both the quality and even the durability. Some have been using them for years without any issues. And some, reported that they hadn't had any issues with the Phenyx Pros, whereas they had issues with some other major brands of similar equipment that they were using. Now, there's going to be industry professionals there that will say you get what you pay for, which is often true. But of course, not everyone has an AV budget that runs into the tens of thousands. And so I can say that both for myself and our primary tech guy, that we were actually impressed with both the quality of sound and the quality of the equipment for the price. So if you're someone who's operating on a budget, this is certainly an intriguing point of entry. For us personally, we will use it primarily for sometimes interspersing into like a chorale type setting. And so some of the strong voices will have, extra microphones. We'll use it for dramas. And then of course, for speakers who don't like to use a handheld mic and want a little more, flexibility. And so definitely having these alternatives, we primarily use handhelds, but when we want that alternative, to be able to lean on that for occasional use at a much lower price point is certainly intriguing for us. I suspect it might be intriguing for you as well. If you want more information, feel free to check out the link in the description down below. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and let the light in.